So my force for today's Grand Assault, concluding battle for Copper Hill, is gonna consist of the Concordat, the typical blending of Drukhari and Eldari. For headquarters, we're gonna have the two Archons. The one with the gold tines, that's the front one, will be the Army Warlord. And then I'll have a detachment of Eldari here with Rangers, two squads of 5 Rangers. My troops mostly are going to be 20 Kabbalite warriors in squads of 5 riding around their venoms. The 15 scourges in groups of 5, 3 ravagers, and 2 Razorwing jet fighters. So one of the special scenario rules is that if one of my units is destroyed on a 4-up, it can come back 6 inches from a table edge. I'll roll on a 6, it'll be any table edge. And if it's a troops, it'll come back on a 2-up. So this is the Eldari Drukhari forces for Grand Assault.
Facing off the last of the dark. Facing off, we have Head Honcho Typhus. He's leading the battle, and he's got Malignant Playcaster next to him. And they've got a few psychic shenanigans to help buffer and hide the troops. They've got there's 5 troop choices, 2 units of 10 of cultists, 2 units of 20 of poxwalkers, and 1 unit of 7 of the marines there, with plague plague belcher and a couple of plasmas in there. Then they've got an elite's choice detachment with the Lord of Contagion, 2 units of the Death Row Terminators in 3s, and the Taliban to hopefully give me some command point backs as we go through. And then running out the main detachment, I've got the this one as usual, and 2 of these. This one here has got a different weapon choice this time. It has the heavy blight launcher, and this one's got the plague splitters as normal.
So both sides have deployed. First, the Death Guard. So I'm just going to give a slow overview of the deployment area. So you can see 2 objectives there that the Concordat have to seize. There is one also underneath there in the corner. Okay, moving up the street. You can see everybody's come out for this big party today. There's another one here. One over there, and the last one over there. So this is the Death Guard deployment. We're going to go to the Concordats. We have some scourges on this tower, snipers in this on this bastion, Spirit Seer there, and most of the forces are heavily deployed on this flank. So I have right now a unit of snipers in reserve, and we're going to begin the game with a preliminary bombardment. So the description for this mission is that after weeks, months, or even years of brutal urban conflict, the opportunity has arisen for one army to strike a decisive blow, either to push the invaders out of their city or alternatively to crush the last vestiges of resistance. So preliminary bombardment begins.
Small group of poxwalkers pushed forward. Lord of Contagion and some Terminators had a big run forward. He ran forward. He hopped forward there to get some shots in. Poxwalkers just kind of swarmed a bit, but mostly everything else kind of stayed still this turn. Light shooting phase because nothing's really in range yet. Heavy stubber lanced out and did no damage. This bad boy took down one of those.
Scourges.
One of the Scourges and wiped off a Farseer. And, this took down one of the Scourges and this took down the Farseer. So, light opening round of firing, but better than nothing.
Concordat turn 1 saw many Venoms move here on the street closer to this objective, and we'll secure this one as well. A new Spirit Seer came in from reserves and is deployed here from this table edge. and we're now in firing position. So we're gonna do some psychic phase powers, basically just to improve shooting for the Eldari snipers, and then we'll go right into the shooting phase. So it's the end of battle round 1. I've decided to just film the psychic phase and the shooting, and there's going to be no charging anyway. So a lot of shooting eliminated these cultists that were on that Manufactorum. We did manage to secure one objective there, which I've taken off, just so that we remember that it has been secured. And generally, good shooting has eliminated a blight drone over there, as well as the plague burst crawler over there, and that one has just been scratched. So it's now going to be battle round 2, Death Guard turn 2.
Poxwalkers push back a bit, while the Terminators and the Lord push forward, hoping to numble their way through some of these vehicles. A few quick switch around here, nothing major, and these guys move. This guy has hopped forward a bit. Hopefully get some shots off. So the Terminators took down a Venom and then moved on to pounce on that one. Did no damage in return. Lost a Terminator in the process though, unfortunately, but other than that, everything was kind of... Yeah, they lost one in the explosion, but that's about it, really.
Okay. Alright, Concordat, turn 2. This is the Concordat's move. So, the Venoms have moved from that top of the building. One will secure this objective here. The Spirit Seer is preparing to smite the Terminators on the top of the building. The other Venoms are engaged very closely now with this line of Poxwalkers. The survivors of the destroyed Venom, buoyed by the Archon, are prepared to shoot as well as charge. The Razorwing jet fighters have zoomed down the street. The Ravagers have all landed on this building here, and everybody else is as you see it. All right, I'm going to begin turn 2 shooting shortly. This is the end of Concordat turn 2, end of battle round 2. So incredible amounts of shooting from splinters all around, Dark Lances, Lash Out, Terminators, and Lord of Contagion fell here on this rooftop. This mob of Poxwalkers was ground down, and the drone over here was shot out by those Scourges on the building with their Dark Lances. So this is the situation right now on the board. It's going to be battle round 3, Death Guard turn 3.
Not an effective turn, but I got this down to 2 wounds left from 10. These guys shifted forward and now have Cloud of Fly, so everything has to target these guys first to remove them before they can target anything else. Typhus has gone into cover, chicken, and just not that exciting.
This is the movement phase for Concordat turn 3. So everything is generally advanced to try to tighten the noose. And some Rangers have appeared unbidden on this bastion, as well as here, and they'll score the objective through the wall. So we're going to have shooting shortly. This is the end of battle round 3, and incredible again amount of shooting has removed a big mob of Poxwalkers clearing the streets, as you can see, and not Terminators, keep saying that, Chaos Plague Marines fall to fire from these 3 Ravagers. So it's the end of battle round 3. It's going to be the start of battle round 4, Death Guard turn 4.
Alright, we went all out, we just pushed forward, went into here, we destroyed one of his HQs, we badly wounded his general of the army, took 2 Cavalry Warriors. These guys didn't make it into combat, so they're now sitting ducks.
Alright, so it's now going to be Concordat turn 4. Alright, so Concordat have moved their forces. The Warlord has moved out of combat, as well as the surviving 3 Cabalite Warriors. Scourge has moved from this position over here, jumping over down there, and everything else has more or less, again, we're closing the noose at this point. And we'll score the Venom, we'll score that objective through the wall. All right, so shooting turn 4 happening shortly. All right, this is the scene at the end of battle round 4, and naught remains except Typhus, the archfiend, the arch nemesis himself. So it's going to be battle round turn 5 commencing. So this is the end of the battle for Copper Hill, which falls securely to the hands of the Drukhari Eldari. And Mortarion, having seen enough is enough, is teleported his first captain to his side. So thus concludes the urban conquest of Copper Hill.